You remember the classroom, the chatter, the buzzing energy, the chaos of voices mixing together like waves crashing on a shore. And then there was you, sitting in the corner, quiet, still, watching everything. You weren't shy, not exactly. You just saw things others missed. While the loud kids filled the air with noise, you lived in the silence between the words. You listened, you noticed, you thought. But to the world, you were just the quiet kid. That label followed you like a shadow through school halls, social gatherings, family dinners. People made assumptions. They thought they knew who you were. They projected meanings onto your silence, never realizing that silence was a language of its own. Some thought you were arrogant, too good to speak. Others thought you were scared, too timid to speak. They never stopped to ask if maybe you just had nothing to prove. Maybe you were tired of conversations that didn't mean anything. Maybe you were observing before deciding if it was safe to be seen. Maybe you were simply being, without the need to perform. But in a world that rewards loudness, stillness can look suspicious. Quietness gets misunderstood. You get overlooked, underestimated, sometimes even mocked. And yet, you noticed everything. You saw how people used laughter to cover discomfort, how some classmates spoke with confidence but listened with none, how teachers overlooked the kids in the back row unless they were causing trouble. You watched it all, and in those moments your silence wasn't emptiness. It was full of understanding, of questions, of possibilities no one else had slowed down enough to consider. And maybe, just maybe, that's your gift. See, not everyone can sit in silence. Some people are terrified of it. They fill every space with noise because the quiet makes them feel alone with themselves. But you learned how to make peace with that stillness. You turned it into strength. Think about it. While others rushed to speak, you learned to observe. While others reacted, you reflected. You processed deeply. And when you finally spoke, your words carried weight. That's the power of the quiet kid. But it didn't always feel like power, did it? Sometimes it felt like invisibility, like you could disappear and no one would notice. Like your presence only mattered when someone needed a body to sit in a chair or a name to fill out a roll call. You might have been the last picked, the one left out, the one who got told to speak up or come out of your shell, as if your quiet was a flaw that needed fixing. You heard people say, "You're too quiet," like it was a warning sign, as if silence were dangerous, as if it meant something was wrong. But here's what they didn't see. They didn't see how your mind worked, how it raced with ideas, spun with stories, connected dots others didn't even know existed. They didn't see the empathy you held, how you noticed when someone was hurting, even when they said they were fine. They didn't see the way you looked at the world, with wonder, with caution, with insight. And maybe they never will. Because you're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to understand yourself.